Lock in America! It's time for Straight Talk! This is the Wayne Dupree Podcast, hosted by Wayne Dupree, with co-host Jason Robertson, delivering powerful opinions, arty debates on politics, entertainment, and the hottest stories. No spin, just honest takes and real conversation! The Wayne Dupree Podcast is lit! Let's get into it right now.
All right, we're back. We're back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. You're watching the Wayne Dupree Show, broadcasting on Rumble Studio. First time ever. For the first time ever. We are sorry we missed a few days. A lot of things, a lot of problems. So we're here, though. We're still alive. Yes, Lord, we're still alive. Thank everybody for tuning in to the show. I would say we broadcast Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but sometimes we got problems with that. So, we're here, and I didn't know how the layout was, because you really can't do anything until you see what the layout is supposed to be. So I sent a message to Jason this morning. I was like, gonna try it. I don't know how it's gonna go. We don't have our names, or I don't even know how to get the names down there. It told us to put our names in there, but the names don't show. So
Hey, everybody, hit a chat for us so we can see if anybody's tuning in while we try to figure out the new studio.
Here it is. If you hit that chat, can you see the chat?
I can see a couple of them.
Okay. I see YouTube. I see K-Gun.
Yeah, we got Eric on the YouTube. Can I click on him? All right. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we got Eric.
Yeah.
Got JR. Whoop. Wrong button there. JR. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Nice hat, Wayne.
So if you click on the name, does it bring it up?
Brings up their name, which is kind of cool.
Okay. Rumble Studio. And then K-Gun Girl. You can also pin these too. Okay. Let's see. Oh, wait. All activity. You see rant, subscription, raids. Believe me, we're just jumping into this. Sounds good on my end. I don't think Twitter's on here though. But we usually don't have a whole lot of Twitter stuff on. Okay, so
let me check my audio. My wife said I sounded tinny. I think I had the wrong camera or wrong.
Yeah, mic. I was going to mention that. I was.
We got her adjusted.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Wayne Dupree. Can't see the name or anything or whatnot, but we'll work on that. I promise. I'll get some graphics, get that done. And it looks like, Jason, you remember we were right here?
Yeah.
When we started? That split really isn't a split.
No.
But if I go to the contain, which is a 3, then that splits it. Or if I go to the cover, that fills out the whole thing in half. So yeah. Videos, it would sound good. Okay, so with that said, I want to give a shout out to Red Voice Media, talkred.com, Drew and his crew over there. I want to thank them for allowing us to, or for being partners with us for so long. And Drew, thank you so much for looking out for me. I appreciate you in this day and time. I really appreciate everything that you have done for the Wayne Dupree Show for the last few years. And no, this, I mean, just stand up, you are. Let me introduce Mr. Jason Robinson from Minnesota. Jason.
Hey, folks. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Wayne Dupree Podcast. As always, do us a favor. Give us a like, give us a comment, give us a share. It helps the show get reach.
All right. Before we get into anything, let me start the show today with something that is not in the news cycle, but should be. Gas just crossed $4.50 a gallon. Cuba ran completely out of diesel this morning. Pakistan petrol is up over 50%. As a matter of fact, according to the reports that's out there, they're about a week away from from having an oil crisis, almost like what you have down in Cuba. Vets foreclosures are filing. The foreclosure filings are now 18% year over year. 33,000 as of this year. Well, no, 33,000 are in flow for veterans, military veterans in the United States. 33,000 vets are in foreclosure right now. And 10,000 have lost their homes. So ask yourself one question. What's the dollar in your savings account actually worth this morning compared to a year ago? That's why we mention Augusta Precious Metals. When the dollar gets squeezed by war, by debt, and a Federal Reserve that basically has run out of moves, gold and silver, they don't blink. They've outlasted every fiat currency in history, every single one. But Augusta Precious Metals, they talk you through it. They walk you through it. If you have any questions, they answer it for you. There's no pressure. There's no hype. They explain how to roll part of your IRA or 401k into physical gold and silver. And they also handle the paperwork. The money's yours. But what you need to do is take a few minutes after the show and visit waynesgold.com or text Wayne to 35052 and they will get you the information. Again, this is just for information. They're not going to call you. They're not going to roll over and spam your phone or anything. They want to send you information. And if you're interested, put your money where you need to and get some gold, get some precious metals under your pocket, under your roof. Again, check out waynesgold.com or text Wayne to 35052. We got a hell of a 49 minutes to go. Well, yeah, 49 minutes to go. Whatever. Jason again is with me. Hell of an hour. President is still in Beijing. CIA whistleblower just torched the official COVID story under oath. Foreclosures, like I said, are climbing. Vets are getting hammered. Cuba is ran out of fuel this morning. And a Chinatown community guy in New York just got convicted of running a secret Chinese police outpost. As you know, we used to have the new federal state of China on the show. They used to tell us a whole lot of stuff. Hopefully you haven't forgot a whole lot of that stuff, but we're going to talk about some of those things today, and I'll source everything so you can go check it out. But we will question the framing here on the show. One thing that happened last night, I don't know whether they can say that I got fact checked, but there's a community note. I guess some people's feelings got hurt, but the CIA kindly, and I'm paraphrasing because some people say it was a raid, some people say, so I'm going to say it. They kindly went in and got some documents from Tulsi Gabbard's office. Jesse Waters was reported on it last night. I think he used the word raid, but if y'all want to correct people that did that, that's fine. Some people are like, can the CIA do that? Can the CIA?
Ask Kennedy.
You know what? I was doing the same thing. I'm thinking the same thing. I was like, are y'all kidding? Kennedy. That should tell you a lot. Kennedy. The media. They've been in the media since the 60s. They tell everybody what they need to believe and what not to believe. I mean, and yeah, they did wait until Trump went gone. So that should really tell you something. They're not,
they're denying it. There was actually official government reports that said, "Oh no, they didn't raid Tulsi's office." We don't know exactly what.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know. But
just ask John Kennedy or Robert Kennedy or.
I mean, I tell you what. I bet you they didn't go in there with coffee and cookies. CIA, Girl Scout cookies. And usually cordial meetings don't have boxes being taken out.
Maybe they were moving offices. Yeah,
without permission.
I'm sure it's some reasonable explanation, just like Tower 7. Perfectly rational, perfectly reasonable, totally makes sense.
I don't know, man. I mean, what do you make of it? Have you heard anything about it?
I saw the initial report, and then I saw the people coming out saying, "Oh, that didn't happen." So I don't know, something weird happened, and my approach. I mean, don't make me get the tinfoil hat out, but when reports like this, it sounds like there were CIA people there. It sounds like there were boxes that were removed, but I don't know. Got to be careful what we say on some of these platforms because they'll hit us with a fact check. So
yeah, and
yeah. I wish I could pull up comments. Kagan girl nails it. CIA can do whatever they want.
I mean, they're their own city. You can't.
Yeah, I mean, are we going to start acting like, oh no, the CIA like always follows all the rules? Oh, there you go. Don't spin it. CIA works for the executive. Yeah, I don't think CIA works for anybody. I'll be honest. Like, like the official org chart shows them reporting to the president, but I think in functionality, I think it might be.
Yeah. Hello, Jason. Okay,
right.
Sure. Yeah, I got you. Whatever. Let me see. And then Kick says,
right.
Can do whatever.
Oh. See, I think you're the host, so you have to do all that stuff. I can't do any of the comments or whatnot. I can't even do the move stuff around thing.
Which?
Oh, like how I can pull up the whatevers we have. But I think as a
guest,
what?
I didn't even put them in here yet because I didn't know how this was going to be. But there's got to be a way. Wait a minute. But then you would have to come in through my Rumble.
Yeah, it gets weird.
Yeah, you would have.
That'll be something to figure out for another day.
Yeah. Believe me. Last night I started this thing because I was talking with Drew. I was like, I don't know about StreamYard anymore, and he was like, "Why don't you try the Rumble thing?" I was like, eh. And I think you had said something about that like over a year and a half ago or something. I was like,
Here's my take on Rumble Studio, and this will be feedback for Rumble. Like, there's a lot of cool features. It's not as easy to use as some of the other platforms. and like streaming comments, that kind of thing. They've smoothed it out though. Like I haven't been in here for several months, and it looks like it's a little cleaner, a little more intuitive to use. And you can set up like Rumble Wallet. People can like do super chats, or they can even give you Bitcoin or whatnot. So there's some cool features they're adding.
Let's try this.
Oh, Wayne's going crazy. You gonna try to share a screen or something?
I don't know. Let's try this.
I wish we could pull up the. Oh, there we go.
Oh, sorry about that. Let me see. Well, that's kind of in front of Jason's face. So
Don't worry about it. They've seen my ugly mug. You know what's fun too is if you're watching on a mobile device, you can screenshot it. Like you can screenshot on your iPhone, and then in your pictures you can click on the QR code, and the QR code and then it'll open up wherever it's supposed to go. Well, oh my God, and the chats are on fire.
Well, everybody, you
ain't go saying, I'm just saying what it says on the docs. and then CIA works for Netanyahu anyways.
Yeah. See? Well, you probably noticed Rumble is growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. Now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform. No pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scene drops, and more from your favorite creators. So right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO at the checkout. You can also use this QR code. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom and content you actually care about. That's the deal.
Well, and I got to say, like Todd and I, we talk about it a lot on Fridays. When we do our show, like we do stream on all the platforms for the first hour, and then we do Rumble only. And Rumble, while it's an extra platform for people to use, they are so much better with your content and with letting you have fun, joke around. You aren't getting strikes. We used to play a lot of videos on the show, but then all of a sudden you get a Facebook strike, you'll get a YouTube strike. And like we do a lot of that on our Friday show. Like here's the C-SPAN clip, and then we'll get a copyright strike, and we're like, C-SPAN is public use, and we just play it and comment on it, which is the definition of what you should be able to do. So, personally, like from a streamer standpoint, like I think Rumble's where it's at. I mean, the other platforms are more widely used, so we love those platforms as well. But for the audience, I think especially if you're concerned Democrats are going to win, start getting over on Rumble, because between the midterms, if they win in 2028, I mean, they've turned down the Facebook stuff, the YouTube stuff, but that's going to wake back up for size. And I think if Democrats,
you think it's going to wake back up? You think?
Oh, dude, yes,
because it's May.
No, I mean, I'm saying not now. I'm saying if Democrats win in 2026, let's say they take the House and Senate, like you're going to see these platforms are going to take that as a foreshadowing of things to come. And in 2028, if Democrats won.
I misunderstood you. I thought you were saying things are going to ramp back up money wise for the ads. Is that what you're saying?
I guess to talk about that, and I mean, hey, we're all friends here, right? So most people don't know, like you see a lot of people in the creator space, you see more weird than you usually see. Like people are acting goofy, channels. It used to be channels would get nuked or suppressed, and like conservatives, they would really shut down or they'd suppress your page. And some of that's gone down. But what's happened is the ad rates, and I tie a lot of it to the USAID, because all that NGO money, just billions of dollars, flows to all these different things. That money, large chunks of it make it into just the whole ad stratosphere. Same with big pharma and all that. Now, while those companies aren't going to run ads on the Wayne Dupree podcast, it's going to raise the overall ad rates. Whoa, Wayne figured out chats. But the difficulty that you're going to run into is that right now, without a lot of that money flowing into the ecosystem, you see a lot of creators that rely on YouTube money. And, if you used to get 1 million views, you'd make, whatever, $1,000 or whatever the number is. Now you're making like 200. I mean, some of the social media platforms, Facebook, you could get, you get 1 million views on a post and you'd make, however much money. Now it's like 1/10 of what it used to be. So yeah, I think as the money gets tight, you're going to see a lot of creators, you're going to see a lot more weirdness in the space because, it's no different than politics. When people can't afford food, things get weird. God, Wayne's over there. He's clicking cat boxes.
Yeah, I'm playing. Let's chat. Okay, so yeah, at least we are. Yeah. Okay, we are experiencing
experimenting.
We're
doing something.
Yeah. Okay. President Trump is in Beijing.
What do you think of that? That's kind of crazy.
It is. It is crazy. There's also a question that came up in my mind. It's like, we're hearing all these things about China. We're hearing all these things about Jinping on his deathbed and all that stuff. And I don't know if it's true. It doesn't look sick to me. And he just got reelected, to be honest, for another lifetime, sir.
Don't you got to do elected in quotes?
So
he just got elected.
Yeah. He just
it's funny. Elected. Many conspiracy theories have been proven true, but a lot of the China stuff hasn't. I mean, there's been weird stuff going on with their generals. People have been talking about their economy collapsing. We've talked a lot about it, like the data that we had, but they just keep chugging along. And Xi Jinping, for everybody saying like, oh, he's got cancer, he's going to die. So far, nothing's happening.
They got to work on this. They got to work on the comments.
Making them bigger or something?
Yeah. It doesn't even show up right.
Yeah, especially we have a little older audience included and hosts like trying to see that as
Okay. According to CNBC's Beijing report this morning, and this is something that I've been seeing too. Xi Jinping warned Trump in opening remarks that the U.S. and China will have clashes and even conflicts if the Taiwan question is mishandled. And that mishandling could put the entire relationship in jeopardy. Another one was the Trump-Xi bilateral lasted about 2 hours. That's what I thought was weird too, is that the meeting only lasted 2 hours. Now it's it's a couple days, right?
Yeah, he's there for a bit, and he brought like, Trump's whole
questionable.
Trump's whole strategy is bringing like, hey guys, let's do business together. That's what he did in the Middle East with the Abraham Accords, and instead of blowing each other up, let's all prosper financially. So he brought a bunch of business leaders with him, and like his introductory video, which we could play, but YouTube would probably strike it. Well, he was like, hey, listen, we're ready to do business. Can we quit doing all this nonsense? Here's, however many 10 of the biggest business owners out there. Like, we want to stop with the nonsense. So I think it's a good strategy. I think if you can create enough mutual incentives for people to prosper, you'll be much more likely to get less people killing each other.
Yeah, but there was I saw a video where President Trump lit into China. He lit into him. Well, a compilation of him lighting into China, and that was one of the things he was known for in his first term. China.
I love when he says China.
But I don't know. I don't know if a whole lot of people are on the common sense spectrum, because rarely ever do you see a leader from one country who might have talked crap about the country he's visiting going to that country and talk crap. Rarely. Have you seen? Am I wrong? You don't see that.
Donald Trump's one of a kind, Wade.
No. I mean, but you haven't seen any leader like Starmer or the French president. They might say stuff in France, but when they come over here, they don't say all that stuff.
Right.
They shaking hands. Oh, this is great, and everything and stuff. And then they get back in their backyard. Man, that son of a gun.
Right.
It's like, why would anybody expect any person? Now, if there was one person that would do that, it would be Trump.
All day.
But Trump doesn't do it. But if there was going to be one person that broke the mold and called you out in your own country, it'd be Donald Trump. But let's see, 2 hours, 15 minutes, the leaders move together to the Temple of Heaven. As we know, G does do that. Xi described the economic and trade outcomes as generally balanced and positive. No joint readout has been released yet. Another Elon Musk, like Jason was talking about, Elon Musk, Tim Cook, Larry Fink. Of course, Larry Fink. I call Larry Fink the president of the world, to tell you the truth. Larry Fink were all part of the CEO delegation that traveled with Trump. The White House is showing Beijing that American business wants stability, not decoupling. That's a problem. That's a problem, because the China, many of the Chinese people are saying the way to beat China is to decouple. That's the way to beat them. Once you cut that umbilical cord, they really don't have a leg to stand on, or at least that's what we've been told, right? Remember that?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of decoupling with China. But people that are squawking about like gas prices being $4.50, like if we decouple from China, I am a fan, but you're talking some pretty big economic chaos, and I think that's where people got to pick a lane. It's do you want us to decouple with China, understanding they own like a huge proportion of our manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, electronics, like tons of stuff comes from China. I think you decouple. I think you let the chips fall where they may. But I think for anybody who doesn't like disruption, that would be very difficult. It's kind of like mass deportations. If you're here illegally, I just want Trump to round you up, black bag you, send you back to your country. Don't care. Don't want to hear about it. Don't need any stories. Don't need who's going to pick the crops. Just send them all home. But understand that would throw America into a lot of chaos, and we just have to be willing to go through it.
Did you say squawking about gas prices? Did you say that?
I did say that.
What? Why? How did you say that?
I'm just saying, if using that as a comparison, if we decoupled from China, the economic ramifications would be catastrophic.
For us or them?
Both. Like it would, prices on many goods would skyrocket, availability
because they control, well, they don't control.
They make it all.
They make all for us of what we use.
Yeah. So if we want to say, hey, let's decouple from China, which I am a fan of, you have to be prepared on the backside for unintended consequences. And anybody that says like, hey, well, this or that would happen, like nobody knows. It's going to be a guess. And that's why, in Trump's first term, there's been a lot of things, Trump started doing things and then people kind of like, oh no, this is bad. Well, what do you expect? Deportations, we saw it when we talked about it before he was elected. When he starts doing deportations, like it's going to get ugly. You're going to get sob stories, lefties losing their mind. And He did like 20% of what I wanted. I wanted everybody sent home. But you have to be ready for what that's going to look like. And gas prices, Trump had a quote, the left is kind of taking it out of context, but Donald Trump understands how bad gas prices are for Americans, I think. I think Donald Trump knows that's really bad politically for him and for Republicans. Like everybody who has spent a minute in politics know at the end of the day, people not affording food is going to make you lose an election. Like this isn't rocket science. But Donald Trump, when they asked him about it, he said they framed it like, oh, what about Americans that are complaining gas prices are up? And Donald Trump's answer was, I'm not worried about prices going up for Americans. I forget the quote. And then that's where they clip it. But the rest of the quote is, I have to stop Iran from getting a nuclear weapon.
That's basically how he ended it. But now from where I am looking at that is that I think that he was told, or actually the word, there's a report that came out. Some of the people in the White House basically said that it was probably a bad move to do it, to do the Iran thing. But Netanyahu did have a voice, and especially in the strategic room, and he laid it out his way. If you listen to President Trump when he talks about the Iran having a nuclear weapon, he sounds like Netanyahu when he says that. I go back to his first term. He said that Iran couldn't have a nuclear weapon. They didn't get one while he was first term, but he didn't go to war. He didn't. Nobody died. He put sanctions on them. He put them in their place, and Iran didn't act up the first term that he was in there. And Netanyahu was still going around saying they're only weeks away. But President Trump didn't go to war with him. I think Netanyahu, if you look at him, and Netanyahu was on 60 Minutes. I don't know whether you saw it or saw some clips from it, but Netanyahu's starting to look scary now. He's starting to look scary. He's talking about going after people in the United States for having negative stuff to say about Israel, or kind of like that. And you and I have kind of talked about the future, the kids, and how their perception is going to be about Israel in the future. I saw this quote that Netanyahu said years ago about wringing out or drying up the United States. Is that what he said? Close to it?
Yeah, close to it.
About drying it up. Because, again, he not long said ago that we need to do stuff on our own now. I mean, I guess the way I look at him and the way I look at where we are right now, I'm not saying that we're hurting, but we aren't in the best position after this. We're not. Or at least I don't think we are as a veteran. I don't think that we are in a better position up after what we're doing right now. I think we were in a better position before Netanyahu and his Greater Israel strategy and whatnot. But you just saw he took a secret trip to UAE, and what happened? UAE struck
Iran.
Struck Iran, and they were like, "But we didn't know about that. We just heard Iran hit UAE." Really? Okay, fine. But then we found out that Israel has a base, right, in UAE now, or is it a base in Saudi Arabia? Is that right?
Yeah, Well, and who knows what they have for bases. I mean, let me be clear. I am very skeptical of our relationship with Israel, the
No,
government of Israel.
right, correct.
And I am not defending any conspiracy theory, any thoughts anybody has about their control of US politics, government, connection to Epstein, whatever you want to go, like I'm in. Like I think all that's very plausible. But I know Donald Trump since the 90s has been pretty passionate about Iran can't have a nuke. Donald Trump gets briefings none of us can get. And for whatever reason, whoever convinced him, however he was convinced,
I tell
Donald
you.
Trump had information that said attacking Iran is there. And I think for all of us, I'll use Wayne as an example. Like last Wednesday, you know, that was last show I was on last week, but you were talking about how you were worried that we're going to get nuked on the East Coast. And I mean,
yeah. Well, I've always been worried about that.
what
Because
I'm
Washington D.C. is kind of close here.
and I have a friend of mine who's a Democrat who's like paralyzed with fear that Iran's going to nuke us. And and I'm like, well, if you really think that that could happen, that means you need to support what Trump did, because that means, you know, at the bottom of your heart, you're thinking there's a really good chance Iran has a nuke, you know? So I think if you think Iran has a nuke, then what Trump did is justified. If he got bad information, if he got sold a bill of goods, if there is no weapons of mass destruction, then it was a bad move. And time will tell, history will tell. So, but I think Donald Trump understands all the ramifications of it, and he's got to get it buttoned up pretty quick, or you know, it's going to cost us the
It's 2
midterm.
months now. Yeah, it's supposed to be. Well, it wasn't supposed to be 2 weeks because we don't know the timetable. But basically, it was. You know, it looked like it was going to be a quick it and out and done, or at least that's what he might have been sold on. And
Well, let's just do a thought experiment too. Let's say the government of Israel and Netanyahu is all the things we think it is. Okay, let's just say, you know, let us know in the chats. Like, let's say let's say you believe all of the worst about the government of Israel. How the hell do we decouple from that? You know, it's kind of like China, where we're talking about, oh, we need to decouple, they'll collapse. How do you pull that apart? And so Donald Trump is just a human. He's going in doing the best he can. And you know, I believe that he has America's best interest at heart. But I mean, it's like you have bad decision and worst decision. Which one do you make? You know, it's not like, oh, this will solve it. That'll be great. And there won't be any consequences. It's all bad and ugly. You know, I wish we cut off in the 60 Minutes interview. Netanyahu said, oh, we want to wean ourselves off US
that's
aid,
what I was talking about.
which
Yeah.
I thought was promising. And I think he sees writing on the wall.
That's
You
what
know,
I was thinking
in
too.
their 30s, these young politicians, like if they don't, if Mossad doesn't have files on them already and they keep their nose clean, like you will see, you know, I think you'll see a lot of different things. It's like draining the deep state. I mean, imagine if you're Kash Patel. And Bongino did an interview a few weeks ago, and he was talking about there's two CIA or two FBIs, the good FBI and the bad FBI. Imagine showing up in the FBI and you have like whatever percent, 10, 20, 30% that just hate your guts and want to do everything to sabotage you, because that's what they've done. And it's like, wow, how do you pick those guys out? How do you like just think of what that looks like, trying to untangle that ball of yarn.
Yeah, I, you know, for me, I just like even under Bush, especially after 9/11. Well, and maybe even before 9/11, because I never really even trust Russia. But as I've always said to myself, we really got to move. Maybe we do go to Minnesota. Well, no, Minnesota. And nothing on you, but
Oh,
too many,
Minnesota,
too many, too
we've
many.
got our problems.
Yeah. It's like no.
We're gonna have the Somali takeover. They've already changed the flag.
I may have to go to the foothills of West Virginia. I don't know, but we're just too close to Washington D.C. And Washington D.C. is in these days because the missiles haven't been tested. So you know those nukes really haven't been tested. there's going to be a miss. You know, I mean, we were 15 miles off. Baltimore gone. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's dangerous city over here on the East Coast. Period. No matter. But yeah, I just it's just when he was talking about going after people in the United States, and we put a video on here where he basically said that he was going to be
They're already going after people.
social media. Yeah.
I mean, we're smaller fish in the pond, but the bigger fish, anybody who is, if you are at all Israel concerned, if you are at all like your channel's getting attacked now, kind of like the censorship regime. They're labeling you an anti-Semite. They're running campaigns with other people going after you. I mean, you know, it's funny. The government of Israel is like the one thing you can't criticize, which to me usually indicates there's probably something more there.
Real quick, let me do this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Wayne's doing something. Oh, look at that. Chicago steak. Oh, they do live reads on Rumble.
Yep. Today's sponsor,
Chicago steak.
Today's sponsor is Chicago Steak Company, and they're giving away 8 free steak burgers on every order. Code 8 burgers. Think about the last time you bought burgers at the grocery store. It's summertime, you know, it's ready to get out there on the grill. I gave Jason a picture of some chicken of the grill that I
got no chicken, started. But I got a picture. I got no chicken.
Oh well, yeah. But you stand there staring at a wall of plastic wrap ground beef, trying to figure out which one isn't going to turn into hockey puck on the grill. Maybe you grab the expensive organic pack. Maybe you went cheap. Either way, you got home, fired up the grill, and watched them shrink to half the size, drop in the middle, falling apart through the grates. Well, Chicago Steak Company, you heard of them, right? Figured out a better way. They make half-pound steak burgers from USDA prime beef, hand-formed from premium cuts, and ship them to your door with dry ice. On dry ice. These hold together on the grill, stay juicy, and actually taste like steak. Here's the deal. Spend $189 or more on any steaks you want. Use code 8burgers, and they add 8 free steak burgers, plus a bottle of steak seasoning, plus free shipping and to your door. That's $200 in free extras on top of whatever you ordered. 15,000 5-star reviews. These people know what they're doing. Go to mychicagosteak.com/rumble. Code 8burgers. Link in the description. You'll probably see it right now. I noticed that
on your screen, it'll pull it up.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And get them before they're gone. So I think this is going to stay in the Rumble chat too.
Nice.
It's kind of crazy seeing that there though.
And we got a new chatter over there. We got, I'll pronounce the name wrong, Yinka. Yinka's pretty active in the chat. Welcome to the Rumble chat.
Welcome.
Although I'm curious where Yinka's from. It sounds like not from America.
Yeah, overseas. And believe me, the Wayne Dupree Show used to have a whole lot of overseas views, and then they just stopped. They just stopped us. Chinese police station in Manhattan, according to a court report from Brooklyn Federal Court yesterday, 64-year-old Liu Jingwang, also known as Harry Liu, was convicted of acting as an unregistered agent in the Chinese government and obstruction of justice. Yeah, so was the mayor of out there in California. But he was acquitted of a related conspiracy charge, per the testimony reported by NBC New York. Prosecutors said Liu helped run a so-called police overseas service station out of an office in Manhattan's Chinatown, starting in 2022, after he attended a ceremony in the Fujian province, where China's Ministry of Public Security announced it was opening 30 such outposts globally. And we reported on that around the time that it happened, because that's when the new federal state of China was here on the show.
Wait. You're saying I don't need the conspiracy theory hat talking about? Oh, wait, he was convicted. Okay, all right, I'll switch back to the regular hat.
According to the federal prosecution's case reported in the Japan Times, this was the first criminal trial of its kind in the United States. The obstruction conviction carries a maximum of 20 years, but Liu remains free on bonding pending sentencing. He's lucky.
Weird.
That's luck.
Although it is New York, they don't prosecute anybody for anything.
Yeah. You seen him? No, I ain't seen him. I saw him last night. But
he said he'd come back. Can we talk about that mayor too? Just for a second. And I'm not grabbing the tinfoil hat. But let's go through the Democrat politicians in California who have huge Chinese takes, like Feinstein. I forget where her district is. Bubba in the chat will know. Like, she had a Chinese spy as a driver for decades. Eric Swalwell, nobody hears of him anymore, but he got infiltrated by a Chinese spy when he was like running for city council, and they rode him all the way till the U.S. House. Now you've got a mayor in a town, and like there should have been tip-offs. Like, she was doing campaign ads in Chinese, and now she's convicted of being a Chinese spy. We've covered birth tourism, where it's estimated there's millions of Chinese that have been born in America that are being raised over in China. And I mean, at what point is it? How much do people need to see to understand this? Hey, China is from, the China thing, especially in California, really bad. New York, I mean, we covered this case with the NFSC a couple of years ago, where like they were running their own like police station. It was remarkable. Oh, I got to say too, I got to give Yinka a shout out. I can't pull up the chat, but Yinka's from London. Now, Yinka, I got to say,
welcome.
Yeah, Allah Akbar, Inca. Like, I'm just saying, I got friends in England, and they were talking in the chat about how America needs to take back its sovereignty. I'm just saying, in London, like he who lives in glass houses shall not cast the first stone.
What's crazy is that for me, the chat is huge. Is it huge for you?
The text is really small, and it's in the middle in between.
The text is small for you.
Yeah, I can't read it on the screen. Over on the side I can.
How about that?
I can read it a little better. But I'm old though. I'm blind.
How about that?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So it lets you do all that, huh?
Yeah.
You can move that sucker around. See, I can't do any of the cool stuff. Oh well.
Yeah, I'll put it in between. So
and Patricia, I've been on Rumble. Haven't been there in a while. I am a Rumble shill. I don't get paid by them, but Rumble's a great platform.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not a Rumble fan?
We used to get paid on Rumble. What are you talking about? I got no love for Rumble.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, the ad rates once they start bringing in the big names, like the small.
Yeah.
It was like
once they got their huge salaries, then it's like, it's a pixie dust for the rest of us. Let's see. Also, like I was talking about earlier, foreclosures are up for the military, for veterans.
It's up for everybody.
Yeah. And you're right. It is up for everybody. 42,430 properties nationwide had foreclosure filings in April. That's just April. It's not the year. It's in April. That's up 18% compared to April 2025. Foreclosure starts were up 12% year over year. Bank repossessions are up 42% year over year. The worst foreclosure states right now in the country are in Delaware, South Carolina, Florida, Indiana, and Illinois. The highest metro rate is Lakeland, Florida, one filing for every 1,221 housing units. Some metros saw eye-popping annual jumps. Austin, Texas, foreclosure starts from 158 in April 2025 to 396 this April, and then in Pittsburgh from 82 to 215. Jason, Austin or Texas, did you see that Muslim center?
Yeah, they got like 4 of them. Sarah
This thing
Gonzalez.
is huge, though. I mean,
Oh yeah.
this thing has a big like mosque in the middle and has
Oh yeah.
all these streets and everything around. Looks like a city. Did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah, there are several, and they blocked some, and it's pretty terrifying.
You
I
know,
mean,
through some research, I found out that one of the donors to Governor Abbott is one of those Muslims down there.
Yeah,
like $5-6 million to his campaign.
yeah, I will say, if you look at what's happening, and I mean, since we got some European viewers, I'll talk about Europe as well. For centuries, all of the Western countries have fought tooth and nail to not let in Muslims into our, I mean, like Somalis are Sunni Muslims. I mean, same coin, you know. They want to spread, they want to take over, they want to establish Sharia law. You know, you see it. It's funny. I like to watch like travel videos while I'm working. And there's this English dude, I forget his channel name, but I love watching it. And he goes to all these countries, and he did a tour around London. And like, hey, you know, I usually go places, and I want to do the travel in London, and they're just like huge blocks where it's like 20 square blocks that are just Indian or Muslim. And yeah, in Minnesota, in the north part, like Somali land in downtown Minneapolis, like that's where the Leering Center is and all these different things. That's like, you go down there, there's like 20 city blocks that just feel like a different country. I mean, everybody there's Somali, they speak Somali. If you as a white dude walks in, like, you feel out of place. And it's in America. They tried to open Muslim centers in the northern metro, and they got shut down by the city council. So they're not here to assimilate, in my opinion. They are here to conquer.
Yeah, and we also have a conquering force coming from the South of America, or the South of North America, and they're here. We also have a conquering force that Jason was speaking about earlier about Chinese babies. They're growing up here in the they're being born in the United States. Their daddy, not daddies, their daddy is
Xi Jinping.
well, I don't know, is because you know he's down to colon cancer, right? But they're being born here and being placed here. So, when we were kids, every kid was given this one word, and it put the fear of God in you when you heard it. No. And somewhere along the line, the government, the people in government, whether they're getting so old that they're going back to kid, you know, have you ever heard that saying, once a man, twice a child? Mm-hmm. I don't know whether they're going back to infant stage, but they don't understand the word no. They can't say it. And somewhere along the line, won't be our generation because it's too late. But maybe somebody will rise up from the United States of America in the future and have the cojones, have the spine, have the ability to get in front of the American people and say, no more. No more overspending. No more of this of letting people in that don't love this country. No more of the fraud that is happening not only in the cities and states but in the U.S. government. No more. And maybe the American people will decide, you know what, he's right or she's right. We have to finally get behind this because our status of life, our how we're living our lives is so bad. We have finally got to do this. And I'm sorry to say, damn those who allowed it to happen. Yeah, I mean, because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that this country has allowed it to happen because the people at the top are too afraid to say, well, actually, they're not afraid to say because a lot of them are getting paid by the lobbyists to not say no. So,
Well, I think I mean, and I've talked about this, and we go into a lot on the Rumble only on Fridays. Like, I think for us boomers or Gen X, whatever we want to call ourselves, we grew up in the era of Ted Cruz and Mitt Romney, and the Republican Party has been disgusting. Who pushed NAFTA? The Republican Party. Why do we bring in all this cheap labor? The Republican Party. Now, the communists, I mean, the Democrat Party is moving more and more communist. Fetterman was talking about it this week, where it's like we really got to stop doing the socialist stuff. And when I say socialist, it's communism. Like, they're going for state owning production. That's all it is. And there are no normal Democrats, or very few. Like, they're falling in line with communists. But if you look at the younger generation coming up, I think Stephen Miller, he embodies what you talk about. Like, I hope I live long enough to see Stephen Miller run for, get elected emperor. If you look at Brandon Gill, who's a new member of the House, like Brandon Gill, and I know Brandon, he's a great guy, and he is very much we just need to send everybody home. And for on the left, everybody screeching about Donald Trump's a Hitler and a fascist, and I'm a not. Like, they have no idea what's coming. Like, they need to get in the younger era, blogosphere on the right, and you will see what's coming, and it makes Donald Trump looks pretty soft. And I find that really encouraging because, in our lifetime, no, I mean, throwing myself under the bus, we allowed this to happen. I mean, go back to the 50s. America was a relatively successful country that was working through some stuff. It was 90% Christian. And look at it now. It's like, yeah, it's an unrecognizable country in the last 50, 60 years. And we will either restore it or we'll be conquered.
yeah, I'm watching people. You can go into what they can go in a store looking like anything they want to now. They can get on an airplane looking like yesterday's business. They just do. There used to be store owners back then today. No, you can't come in here with no flip flops.
Right.
No, you can't come in here with a halter top. You got to be dressed when you come in here. And and I was looking at this image on Instagram this morning, and they were saying, "What happened to the color in this country?" And they showed a car dealership that had cars that looked like red, yellow, orange, green, and then they showed cars today, gray, black, white. They showed buildings back then that had all types of colors. Those same colors that I was talking about, it all looked like something. And then you look now, it's black, gray. There isn't a whole lot of color on the buildings anymore. It's just a droopy, drowsy, lackluster, type of thing.
Well, I think that goes back, and I'll butcher the quote, but it's, the Western culture, Western civilization, it's summed up really well where it's, you want to plant a tree whose shade you will never sit in. And if you look, why did the West build these amazing structures? Why did the West, conquer the wilderness? Why did the West come to America? Why did the West do all these fantastic things? It's because they were building things that would be generational. And I think the leftist mentality is, how am I going to feed myself today with as little work as possible? And I think as you see that leftist ideology, I mean, imagine when we were going to space, there were protests of people like, we could be feeding how many people with instead of going to space. I mean, think of that. Going to space as a human race is amazing. Going to the moon, going to Mars, sign me up. But there was this leftist push the last, 50, 60 years where it's like, oh no, we should feed people in the slums instead of going to the moon. And that's just so ridiculous. Like, people in the slums need to figure out how to feed themselves. Look at, and you talk about all the corruption, like there shouldn't even be these programs in the first place. These programs shouldn't exist to be exploited. I mean, your friends, family, neighbor, that should be who is helping feed people, not the US government. It's just so ridiculous.
Beppy Butler on Twitter says, you're looking good. Keep up the good job.
Oh, Wayne Dupree. All right, ladies. Wayne Dupree, anybody who wants to DM him.
Give us the last time.
He's a heck of a cook. He's got a whole new remodel.
I burn everything. I can't boil water.
His phone number is...
I don't have a phone. I use smoke signals. Last time.
All right. First of all, folks, sorry for the technical difficulties this week.
We're working on it.
Appreciate you guys. And thanks for tuning in today. Second thought, make sure this weekend, get out, touch grass. There's a lot of rough news out there. But the best thing that you can do is reconnect with people you love. And then final thought is pray for Trump. Do me a favor, pray for Trump, because I don't know about you, I just get sketched out with him in China. Don't like it. I know he's got to do it. I don't trust the CCP. Like, I hope he brought his own food. Like, don't drink the water. Like, just pray for Trump. Pray for his safe return home. And on that note, we'll see some of you guys tomorrow. We'll see everybody else on Monday.
Wow. Really, where are they going to? I mean, the only thing I think they make him do is go to the bathroom. They wouldn't want to start a war, right? You don't think, do you? Okay.
Who would have thought 9/11 happened, Wayne? I'm just saying.
Did it?
Yeah.
I mean, thought that was an inside job. So, real quick before we go, we were talking about gas this morning. It's at the pump. Same for a lot of you. 46 something a gallon, or 460 something a gallon up here. I'm watching the number climb on the screen. The guy next to me at the next pump, we didn't say anything to each other. We just shook our head and kept on pumping the gas. I guess like that gesture is at a lot of gas stations around the nation right now. Most of us remember when it was back in the 70s, the long lines. I was talking to my son this morning. Gas stations ran out of gas. I used to wonder how, with long lines. So you're wondering, how did those people get home? If they were almost out of gas, how did they get home? This thing needs to be wrapped up. The thing needs to be wrapped up fast. It does. And I think a lot of people will agree. It needs to be wrapped up fast. But like a couple of months ago, I had a prediction that it would have been wrapped up before he went to China. It was supposed to be wrapped up before he went to China. They didn't want to, from some of the reports that I read, they didn't want to go into China still in this situation with Iran. And maybe you, as a viewer and a listener to the show, keep your eyes to the ground and keep your eyes on the sky. Because remember, before President Trump went over there, Iran went over there. Delegation from Iran went to China. So you got to watch. We heard what Xi was talking about. We need to keep watching what he's going to do after President Trump leaves, because, he's like, we need to work together. Xi, we need to be one. We need to work together. Don't mess with Taiwan or there's going to be problems. Isn't that basically what he said? I mean, sort of like that.
We're living in interesting times.
Interesting times. But no, thanks for showing up to the show. And we mean that. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for showing up. You could be anywhere, but you're here and you're listening and you're watching and you're emailing and you're sending messages. That's not nothing. It's the reason why the show works. But we will see you on Monday. Again, we're trying to get this working right. It looks like, Jason, it's working. Twitter's comments aren't showing up. Getter's comments never really showed up, but we see.
We'll figure out technology more on Monday.
Yeah, I guess so. So, all right. So let me do it like this because the ending isn't like this.
We can't play the outro. Do we just sing a few?
No. I think, you know what? I think we can, but let me see.
Hope there's a mouse in your pocket. I can't do any of this.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay. All right.
A couple of boomers.